Welcome to Purpose and Poise, the podcast where real women tell real stories. Here, we celebrate the beautiful, complicated, joyful, messy journey of womanhood with honesty, vulnerability, and maybe even a little humor. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go. So, our guest today is Carlotta Outley Sinclair. I met Carlotta because she and I are part of a community-based organization of women who are committed to serving the community. And I think Carlotta has an amazing story. So what we're going to talk about today is finding love later in life. And I say that, but I'm going to let Carlotta tell the story because I think it's very interesting. I think it helps women understand that love doesn't have an expiration date. So Carlotta, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Kelly. I love being here. Love does not have an expiration date. And so on January 9th, 1999, I married my first husband, the late Jesse L. Brown. He developed cancer and he passed on May 7th, 2016. And so life became very different for me. It was just my daughter and myself, and I had been with him 20 years because we were married 17. And so life was just going along, and when he passed that day, it was very devastating. I can remember it to this date because it was the day Beyonce was coming for the concert. And we were supposed to go, and then there was a Lynx induction on that day. And so we went to the Lynx induction, and he didn't answer the phone, and my mother was there because she was staying with us. And so he had passed. So moving forward, I'm in Jack and Jill, another organization. And so another friend of mine, we were co-chairs of the teen conference. It was the night of the seniors ball and the culminating experience. And that night, everybody walked in with their husband. And it kind of took me aback. My feelings were like really hurt and solemn. I said, okay, you got to get out of this slump. And so, okay, fast forward about a year or two, I was sitting at my desk, and here's the true untold story. I was sitting at my desk at work, and my head coach had said, Miss Brown, we need to hire some coaches for school. And I said, I'm going to give you 1 week. No, really 1 day. I said, I'm going to give you 1 day. And so this is the day I'm going to give you. And so I was sitting at my desk. My assistant principals were at my conference table, and there were coaches that walked in. And so during that time, all these coaches walked in one by one. So if I'm really busy, I'm typing, I'm doing my work, I'm listening to the questions that my assistant principals are asking each applicant. And so this one person walks in. He had on a suit. That was, first of all, okay? Then he began to speak. I stopped what I was doing, and I began to listen because he was very articulate. And they asked him some questions. Well, how are you going to coach? Do you have a family? He said, oh, my children are grown. I have one that graduated from Cornell, one that's graduating from Georgetown. The other one went to Texas Southern. She's a flight attendant. I have plenty of time. Okay. So I still began to listen. And then I had a Lynx, the organization that we belong to together. You and Troy were being honored as a power couple. And so I said, you know what? This was to myself. I'm going to ask my coach, would he like to invite the other coach, and would he like to be my guest? Not my date, my guest. And so he called him, he asked him, and he said yes. So I told my coach to ask the other one to meet me at Hotel Zaza, at a certain time. And I would come downstairs because Chanel and I were staying at the hotel. No one knew that he was coming. My child did not know that this man was going to be there. My friends did not know, and my family. Everybody began to talk around the table. And everybody was looking at him. And I know he felt a presence on his body. And so, people were really talking and things like that. Even my child called from upstairs and she said, "Mommy, who is that man you're down there with?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "Who's that man? People are saying you're downstairs with a man." I said, "Oh, don't worry about it." So, moving right along, we had a great time at the gala. And then he was hired. Okay, I had hired him before that. And so I said, okay, we started talking on the phone. No one knew it. And we would go the distance of going places, like far off from the school. So my boss at the time, she said, "You cannot supervise somebody that you're dating."
I was thinking that. I wasn't going to say anything.
And so we made up this elaborate story of how I had too many coaches and one had to go. And he was the one to go. And so he left. He went to be a head coach somewhere else. And then in October, we came out as a couple.
Okay.
Moving ahead, we started dating, really dating. People started meeting him. That was June of 2019. So June of 2020, we were in COVID, deep in COVID. Everybody was at home, but we were kind of out a little. And so once again, we were having a principals meeting over Zoom. And so I was supposed to be, I thought, going to a birthday dinner for one of Michael's line brothers, his wife's birthday. And so we were there, and I said, "Well, babe, I'll be inside because I need to be on the Zoom principals meeting." He said, "Okay." So I was there, and they beckoned me, "Come on inside, Carlotta, come on inside." I said, "Okay." So I'm still on the principals meeting, and they said, "Carlotta, can you sit right here?" I said, "Okay, if that's where you want me to sit." And so finally I got off the principals meeting, and I started hearing some music playing, and there was this man in the back playing a violin. I'm like, why is that man back there playing a violin? And then I saw his line brothers, they came in with flowers. And then Michael got in front of me. He bent to one knee and he started singing Lady. And so after he sang Lady, I'm crying. I'm like, okay, is this for me? And I was just shocked. And they presented me with the roses. And he asked me to marry him. And of course I said yes. And then he had all my favorite foods that I love. He had them make it. I didn't know he was doing all of this. He had a cake made that said AKA Kappa Alpha Psi. I love chicken flats, so he had them barbecue flats. I love salad with fruits and nuts in it. He had them do that. So it was just a perfect.
So he pulled out all the stops.
He did. He loves to surprise me. Michael is a former or retired NFL player for the Seattle Seahawks, having played 12 years in the league. He was just honored as one of the 50 best players of all time for the Seattle Seahawks.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
And then he was inducted into the New Mexico Hall of Fame in Albuquerque. So that was like a couple of months before that. So he's riding on the high. I'm riding on the high with him. And so we're just going along. And I just never expected that God would bless me again with another wonderful husband. And he's a wonderful husband. When I knew he was the one, I wanted to go to the cemetery one day to put flowers on my deceased husband's grave and my parents and my grandparents. And so I said, "I'm going to the cemetery." He said, "I'll take you." I said, You will? You going with me to see another man? So I'm like, okay. So he took me and he had a little conversation out there with Jesse, and we put the flowers on the grave, and And I just knew that this is a man with a heart, and he's self-assured about himself,
Mhm.
and he knows, and he is giving me time to, let that chapter in my life
Mhm.
move on. But don't forget it, but move on.
Mhm.
And so Michael is it's just a good man, a good man.
And I can see that one when I met him, just a genuine good spirit, but also I see the happiness in you and the inspiration that he motivates in you to just even be the best wife that you can be.
Yes,
Like I get the sense that is one of your top priorities is
it
being
is
a good wife, a great wife,
a great
a
one.
great mother. You're already a good friend, but to see you take care of him the way that you do, I think that's fantastic.
I had excellent role models.
Mhm.
My parents were married 58 years.
Tell Mike he gonna be married forever.
They met at Prairie View,
Oh, go PV.
and my grandparents were married 62 years,
Oh
and my
wow.
other set of grandparents were married 60
Oh
years.
yeah.
So I know people have the misconception about me that I'm a principal, or I was a principal,
Mhm.
and I lead even at home. No, my husband is the leader of the home and the house. I am wife when I get home.
I love that. What is being wife? What is wife at home?
I love to cook. So even though I might have had a hard day at work,
Mhm.
I go home and I cook. Even now that I'm retired, I make sure when he comes home,
I
dinner
love
is
that.
ready. He gets his food. I serve it to him. Sometimes he gets his own. Um, we eat, we look at TV,
Yeah.
we have a good time. Then I pack what's left over for his lunch the next day, put it in the refrigerator.
Oh, I might not air this segment because I don't want Troy to see this because right now I'm batting what, just 4 out of 10 maybe.
So
Okay.
I just, I want to be a great wife.
I love that, Carlotta. Now you're inspiring me. Now I will serve my husband. I don't cook every day, but I do make his meals, and I do the
Uh-huh,
clothes wash, iron,
uh-huh,
stuff like that. My thought was he's very good at taking care outside the home,
mhm,
making sure that we have everything we need. The last thing I want him to do is be concerned about something inside the
mhm.
home. So I get that. Was there ever a period where you felt like remarrying may not be in the cards for you, or were you always open to dating and remarrying?
So when Jesse was sick,
Mhm.
I said, "Oh my God, what am I gonna do, Lord?" I said, "I'm gonna be by myself." Because when my father died
Mhm.
and my mother and father had met at such an early age at Prairie View and married, I saw my mother go through a hard time. She cried every day for my father when he died. And I said, "Ma," I said, "you have me?" "No, Kalila, it's not the same. I miss Freddie. I
Mhm.
miss Freddie," because they did everything together.
Mhm.
They went out to eat all the time together. I learned how to cook from my mother and my grandmother, and they just did everything together. And I saw that, and I'm like, "What am I gonna do?" And I
Mhm.
said, "Okay, I'm an only child. My father, he really taught me how to be the boy and the girl. My mother taught me how to be the girl
Mhm.
and the white, but my father taught me how to be the boy. So he taught me how to be really self-sufficient. You
Mhm.
need to handle your business, do this, do that." And even when my father died, my mother didn't handle anything. She just cried.
Mhm.
She was the widow. I handled everything. Called
Mhm.
everybody, made sure she got everything. I even paid. She didn't even. One day I went over there. I said, "Mom, what's taking you so long to pay the bills?" I never did this. Your daddy did. I never did. Even though she had her own money and
Yeah.
stuff, like he paid all the bills. He made sure everything's okay. I said, "Mom, I got this."
Mhm.
You know,
And you took care of
and
it.
I took care of it. And so I knew how to be self sufficient, but I didn't know how to be without a mate at that
Mhm.
time because
Mhm.
I had Jesse. But I learned. And I did it. Then all of a sudden, I said, let me sit still. And I sat still.
Mm-hmm.
And God literally had this man walk into my life.
Wow. Now, were you dating before Mike? Not really?
I had a friend convince me, girl, talk to this man. Talk to him. Like, I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do. I'm not going to any clubs. I'm not going to get on any sites.
Right.
I'm not going to do anything like that. If it doesn't come to me in God's time, it won't happen.
So for a woman who is over 50, what advice would you give to that person in terms of finding love or being open to love even?
First of all, you need to pray for what you want. If that's what you really want, another mate, pray. If it's that time for you. If you are good in your soul and your spirit, you pray. And then sit still. Just sit still. Don't move around.
So sit still. So you telling me I'm over 50, I can just pray and sit at home and my man
I don't say sit at home.
Sit still. Okay, so go about just your normal
everyday
Don't
life.
get thirsty. Don't be thirsty.
Don't be thirsty. Don't be out there, talking to this one, that one, going out with this one, that one. No, because then you'll develop a reputation.
That's true. And what do you think is another risk if you're thirsty and you're looking for a mate when the mate should find you? So if you're thirsty, what is one of the traps you might fall into as a woman who's open or ready to love and feeling anxious about it?
You might find somebody that is thirstier. And what I mean by that, they might want what you have, and you have to be careful.
That is so true.
You have to be very careful.
That is so true. So did you have a list of things that your mate had to come to the table with, or?
Intellectualism really turns me on. Okay. Nice looking, articulate, kind, loving your mother, a good father, a good brother, spiritual. Excellence is that's the standard excellence.
Right.
Nothing less than that.
That's that educator in you.
Yes. Speaks well.
No, that makes sense. So with you and Mike, because you were with Jesse, then you spent some time with yourself, just getting to know yourself.
5 years.
5 years. So when Mike comes in the picture, my guess is there's some things you had to let go of yourself even.
I had to adjust a little.
Exactly.
Just a little.
A little.
But Mike, he doesn't dim my light. He accepts me for who I am. He knows that I'm out there. And
okay, Carlotta, we know that. And that's all good, fine and dandy. But if you've been with Mr. Jesse in that 5 years, there are some things that you naturally do and like done a certain way that someone new coming into the picture, they either have to accept these new things or you have to be like, okay, maybe we don't have to get up so early or whatever. Tell me one thing you've had to acquiesce on.
Lately, it's not going to every event. Lately.
Oh, I know Mike would have needed a whole nother paycheck for that.
Lately. But he understands. He understands. But lately it's like, okay, Clark, we're going to something else.
Right.
And he doesn't really say anything. And then he says, okay, I'm getting ready to limit your pictures that we take together. It used to be 20, now you got 3 good ones.
I love that. I bet Mike did have to kind of close down some of these events because he'd have been out Thursday through Sunday.
he would have, but I mean he's okay.
Yeah.
I really want to tell you, Mike is a cross between my father and Jesse.
Oh wow. How so? That's interesting.
My father was very outgoing. Jesse was very outgoing. Jesse could move the room around. Okay? My father could do that. My husband has dry humor. My dad had dry humor. Okay? He's a cross between both of them. Jesse was fun. Mike's a lot of fun. My father was a lot of fun. He's a cross between both
That's
of them.
good. What is it about Mike that grounds you?
He knows the Bible like no other.
That's good.
He really knows the Bible. During COVID, we would go out on the front porch and he'd drink his coffee and we would study the Bible and he would talk to me. We'd have Bible study.
Oh, sweet. I love that. Troy knows the Bible back and forth. I quote the Bible like Medea. Like, you can say a scripture and he can tell you it's in Ecclesiastes, blah, blah, blah. And I'm putting 2 or 3 scriptures together.
Yes.
So.
And what people really don't know. This is why I really love Michael. Michael had his mother. He had his mother. But his mother got sick. And he didn't see his mother for 15 years. And he was in foster care for 15 years with some cousins and with a family that took him in, and they would take him to church, and they really wanted to adopt him. But his mother came back when he was 36. And so he really learned the Bible, was really entrenched in how to be a good son and a good brother and things like that. And so he made it in spite of the adversity
absolutely.
that he faced. And he's not bitter.
That is really good. That's really good. Didn't know that. That's a good one. So let me ask you this. When you guys got married or with knowing that, because Mike has children, right?
He does 3.
So you blended families. How's that?
Oh, that's been good. At first it was a little difficult. On Chanel's part. Because Chanel, we would...
Not too much on Chanel now.
Not a lot, but it was difficult for her. She said, we were in the car, you don't need anybody. You got me. You don't need anybody. I said, Chanel, you're going to be going away to college. I can't put that on you, babe. I can't. And you're going to meet somebody. And that wouldn't be fair to you. And she understood when she got in college and met somebody.
Oh, that's all it takes. And then, but in terms of Mike and Chanel, and did you have, I don't know if he's ever had to, not necessarily say discipline because Chanel was older, but for me, even when Troy is kind of strong with the kids, I'm like, wait a minute now. My kids. So I can't imagine if someone else, so none of that. No.
That's
good stuff.
They have talks. They talk about the Bible. They talk about history because Michael's a history buff. They talk about a whole lot of things. Okay. And Chanel, that's a whole nother story. Chanel is not my biological child.
Oh, okay.
Chanel is my cousin's child.
Okay.
My first cousin's child. Chanel's big brother developed a medulloblastoma at the age of 3. And he had cancer and they needed to really focus on him. And so Chanel had just been born. And they were going to send her to Jasper to live with his wife's mother. I said, don't you want to see your child? Well, we really need to focus on Dorian. I said, well, let me ask Jesse. And at the hospital, we got Chanel.
Wow.
And Chanel lived with us. I took Chanel to school. Chanel went to school with me. Chanel, I got in Jack and Jill because of Chanel. Chanel is a soror of mine. Chanel is our mommy. We say she has 2 mothers. really 3 daddies and 2 sets of grandparents.
She's blessed.
She is.
That is amazing. For the people watching, I'm learning Carlotta's story. This is way more than I expected.
Chanel she's everything to me.
Yeah. That just makes me, it makes me admire you even more, because there is absolutely no way of knowing Chanel's not your biological. And so that just shows the level of love and care that you have for her, and that you have this huge heart to give and love. Like, I just think that's amazing. I feel blessed because I try to surround myself with women that I respect. Who respect me, where we're having conversations like this. We're not having conversations where we're talking about what somebody else have, and like that, the nonsense, you know? And so what I like about our friendship is that we can laugh. We can have these conversations and feel good and feel comfortable about them. And I just think that just even that extra element of your story about Chanel is going to help somebody.
It will.
Yeah.
God did not mean for Jesse and I to have children.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe he had a larger plan, a bigger plan. Jesse's niece has come to live with us, and I would take her to school with me along with Chanel. Jesse's nephew came to live with us. My mother came to live with us. And so, that's why I feel God has really blessed me.
Absolutely.
Because
they can get blessings through you.
Yes.
So, yeah.
That's why I tell people, my staff, I always used to tell them, bless others and your blessings will come back to you. You never know when and you never know how.
Right.
I said, but your blessings will come back to you.
I love that. My pastor used an analogy of being a river or a reservoir. A reservoir just kind of holds and it puddles, but a river flows. So if you're allowing yourself to be a river in that sense, and I think that's why you continue to be blessed. And I'm so happy that you and Mike found each other. Now here's what the ladies want to know, and then I'm gonna wrap this up. But Mike is younger.
He is. But that did not make a difference at all. And do I look old?
That's what she say, y'all. No, just
do I look older than him?
No, you don't. Y'all look the same age, actually.
Hey.
We're not talking about looks. We're talking about Mike is what? Is it 5, 6, 7 years?
He's 6 years.
6 years?
He's 6 years older than me.
Younger.
I'm sorry. Younger than me. It didn't make a difference. It didn't because I have a young spirit.
Don't we all?
I have a young spirit. And
there's so much going through my head right now.
And
right. No, I get it. But here's the thing. I don't think you know this. Troy's younger than me.
Oh.
Yeah, Troy is almost 4 years. Almost 4 years. Right.
So we can relate.
Right. That's why I say it ain't about looks.
It's not.
So, but yeah, I love it. The first guy I ever dated who was younger than me, I typically would date somebody like 2, 3 years older, and he and I started talking. And probably about a week or so into communication, I was like, how old are you? And he was like, well, my birthday. I'm like, oh, Lord. Ain't nobody asked you about your birthday. How old are you, little boy?
I know.
No, but yeah, he's almost 4 years younger than me.
That does not matter.
And I wouldn't change anything about that.
And I wouldn't change
And I mean anything.
Nothing. Mike looks good. He's good eye candy.
Right.
And I want to look good.
Exactly. You guys
alongside him on his arm.
And you guys look great together. This is the last thing I have, and then I want to jump into a rapid fire.
Okay.
What has been the most difficult thing about being married after, say, 60? What, if anything?
That people have the wrong idea what over the hill means.
Mm-hmm.
Over the hill means closer to that ground. That's what over the hill. That
I agree.
it's closer to that ground.
Right.
Under it.
Right.
Okay. And that is my concern. That's my concern. Is it like really at the forefront? No, but it is my concern.
Okay.
And I even asked Mike the other day, I said, if I get sick, I said, you're going to taste it, babe. You know I take care of you now. I would take care of you.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. I said, I just want to know. That's my only concern.
No, something tells me you got plenty of time. You don't have to worry about that. So, is there any one particular woman that has had a profound impact on you?
Besides my mother, that's a given, and my grandmother, Paula McCann Harris. And the reason I say Paula McCann Harris, she is like an ever-ready battery. Battery and bunny. She can do anything. If she can't do it, she'll go out
I love that.
and try it and do it. And she'll make it happen. Not say what happened, but make it happen. And she'll try it and she won't give up. And she's a leader. She's a wife. She's a mother. She's a sorority sister. She's a link sister. She was my Jack and Jill president. She's a good fur baby mother. She's a good cow mother. She can do anything.
That is awesome. I know of Paula. I don't know her well, but from the little bit that I can glean from a distance, everything you said is magnified times 100.
It is.
She is pretty phenomenal, and that's just from somebody who's watching from a distance. So that's really good. And they say women don't support women. Oh yes, we do.
I have a whole list I can
You and me both. That's why I told you, no, Carlotta, one. You have to choose one. Okay, so something fun. Let's rapid fire. Coffee or tea?
Tea. Hot, cold, tea.
Early morning or late? A night owl?
Early morning. That's why I don't have wrinkles. My mother always used to tell me, you stay out late, that's dissipation.
I like that. I'm going to tell my daughter that.
Dissipation.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. What's your superpower?
Cooking.
I like that.
Cooking and being the best me and best wife I can be.
Okay. The beach or somewhere wintry, like snowing, skiing, or the beach?
The beach, tropical.
Okay. And what is your favorite color?
I can't tell you that because I could wear any color and I'm going to make it look good.
So that means she doesn't have a favorite color.
I don't. I mean, people would say pink and green, but no, I don't have a favorite. Whatever looks good on me.
People wouldn't say that, but yeah. No, I'm just messing with you. Okay. Well, Carlotta, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you being open and vulnerable and telling your story. And hopefully that I believe this is going to bless some other women who may be feeling like time is moving and they may not find anybody or just getting anxious, because what we don't want to do is trauma bond with the wrong person because we are thirsty and we bond with thirstier to get this label of being a wife or being married. And I think that your message was very on point, that you pray about it, you make sure that you're ready, and then you study yourself and let God do what God's going to do.
Thank you, Kelly. I want to tell you one last thing before we close.
Sure.
You know, I have many people that I know, older ladies who are single. And so I had a gentleman that I used to work with. And he worked HISD in the homeless department. And he said, this is what he said to me. He said, Miss Brown, can you let the women have one man? You've had 3 good men. Your father, your date husband, and now this husband. Let them have one. I said, I'm not out there trying to find anybody. They found me.
And that's the ticker, I think, is that they found you.
They did.
But let the ladies stay where you at. Let the ladies have one man. Tell Mike this marriage is like a game. He heard the other ones was 62 years in. So it is what it is, Mike. You in there now.
That's right.
So yeah. So I want to thank Carlotta for being here and thank you for tuning in. And just remember, purpose evolves. So give yourself permission to evolve as well. Thank you for listening in. Talk soon.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you for listening to Purpose and Poise. If today's conversation made you laugh, reflect, or feel seen, share it with another woman who deserves the same reminder. She's not alone. Follow the show on your favorite platform and stay tuned for more stories, more truth, and more purpose with Poise. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.